welcome to Spotlight. I am Sakshi Sharma from BuzzInContent.com. And ये हमारे प्लेटफॉर्म का सबसे पहला एपिसोड है स्पॉटलाइट का, which is a video-based series where we bring the most exclusive, unfiltered conversations with the content creators and influencers for our viewers. So इस सीरीज का पूरा पर्पस यही है to let our viewers know more about their favorite content creators, influencers, and also to get creators' outlook on various issues including brand deals, influencer marketing, content trends, and much more. So today we put the spotlight on Tanya Appachu, who is a lawyer
so much.
and a digital content creator. So through Instagram, she does not only entertains people, but also educates and inspires them with her insightful video content, majorly around legal proceedings, women's rights, and much more. So to begin with, Tanya, please अपनी journey के बारे में बताइए. How did you land up on Instagram making videos from pursuing law, and how did they get viral?
As a lawyer, as a law student, all I wanted to do was have a traditional job, work in a law firm or, litigate in the court. And that's what I did for almost 7-8 years. And then the pandemic happened. So I had a baby during the pandemic, during that time. So I kind of went on a break. I couldn't do the traditional legal work anymore, like due to the place I was in, due to the situation that I was in my life. So I was consuming a lot of content. I was watching a lot of reels online. I was watching a lot of YouTube videos, and I was like, okay, I think this is something I can do and I should definitely try doing. So there was always a gap within the industry. Like, our industry is made only for lawyers and judges and anybody else who's a part of the industry. However, law is actually for everyone, for all the people like you and me and everyone in the country. So there was a gap that needed to be bridged. There were a lot of legal content on YouTube at that point of time. I'm talking about 2 years back. And the content was mostly educating students, like the law students, on different topics. There was nothing in place at that point of time where, there was content being made for general public, law being made easy. So I was like, let's do this, let's try it out. So after a lot of second guessing myself and wondering if this is the right path for a professional lawyer, I just took out my phone one day, and there was a trending topic at that time. The love jihad laws were in news, inter-religion marriages and love jihad laws. So I said, let's do this. So that's how I started. I just made a video one day. I remember the first video, it was horrible, but I just put it up, and I think 5-6 videos down the road, one went viral. And I think that was kind of a validation that, okay, maybe people are okay consuming this kind of content. And, that was a validation to continue making more content.
Okay, so it worked out quite well for you. So how do you decide which brand to associate with when you're doing, paid partnerships? And क्या challenges हैं जो आप face करते हैं while doing brand deals?
See, I have a very niche as a creator. I don't do anything. So choosing brands to work with is also slightly a little harder for me. Like, I can't just go all out and, endorse any brand, because it has to go with the kind of content that I make too. So like, I can't just suddenly become a fashion person or,
Right.
Start endorsing a fashion deal. So yes, I choose my brands slightly wisely. I try to think of the kind of followers I have, what they might like, and are they very, traditional, or are they very modern in mindset? Are they woke enough for this kind of a brand? So there are certain things that I do think of. So considerable amount of thought goes into the fact that I'm not endorsing every brand that comes along.
Okay.
Because also I'm a professional, so I am a lawyer. I do have that moral responsibility to ensure that I am showcasing the right thing to, people out there. So yes, I do think twice or thrice before choosing a brand. I mostly try to do something on educational, financial, even if it's a startup, it's well established. They are in all their compliances are in place. because I don't want to go out there and talk about, in case I'm endorsing a startup, I don't want to endorse a startup which might put my followers in trouble for, like, say investing in it. Or so these are some things that I do from my end to ensure that I'm choosing the right ones.
आपका काफी सारा कंटेंट लीगल इश्यूज और टॉपिक्स के अराउंड ही है, सो डज इट रिस्ट्रिक्ट द काइंड ऑफ ऑडियंस यू हैव एंड द ब्रांड डील्स एज वेल?
I mean, I think so. I think so. I mean, I don't think I have the kind of audience which see, even getting this much of an audience for the kind of content I make has been a very difficult thing, because आप सोचोगे आप ऐसे लॉयर को जाके फॉलो करना is the last thing in your mind. I mean, you'd probably follow a comedian or someone who's doing fashion, something that is trivial that you can just, go through on your Instagram when you're bored. But when somebody is saying something very educative, first of all, उसको entertaining भी बनाना है, फिर education भी impart करना है. So it does get difficult, and I do believe it's a niche I have chosen for myself. So it is difficult to get like a lot of people to just follow, and maybe my followers are a particular group of people only, but I'm trying to diversify it in whichever way I can, within keeping the law in mind. I'm trying to diversify a bit. I do talk a lot about relationships and family, marriages a lot, so that it involves more people into the conversation. So yes, it is a little hard, even when it comes to brands, like we already discussed. Not every brand wants to, I mean, I also don't choose every brand that comes along, and not every brand wants to come along. I do have a very specific clientele, I feel, and that is definitely due to the kind of niche I've chosen. But I have chosen it, so I'm going to work with it.
Right. So, how has your content evolved over time? और अब कैसे choose करती हैं, figure out करती हैं the topics that you actually work on and create content around?
So the first thing I try to choose is what is relevant for everyone. It has to be must see the topic, because law में बहुत कुछ है जो जिसके बारे में हम बात कर सकते हैं, but maybe it will not be of interest to people. It might be of interest only to like 1% of the population. I definitely don't try to cover that. It affects you in your normal life. It affects you. You're driving on the road, some traffic law, or you're getting a license. So these are the things that would affect a lot of people and would probably be of interest to a lot of people. So first, I try to choose those kind of topics. Secondly, if something is trending, it's going on, there's news about a particular topic, those kind of videos do really well, because it's current then, and if you use that opportunity to make content around that piece, then it really works well. I've seen over the period of time that those kind of content pieces, kuch naya judgment aaya hai, or there's some show in the news and you're talking about that show, make use of that moment and create something. That kind of videos have done well for me. So, but that is that's an opportunity, right? You can't expect ke ye to abhi aane wala hai. Right. So if that opportunity is there, I do make use of it. Yeah, so over the period of time, I have evolved. Like I said, I'm trying to, earlier I used to make a lot of women related content, and mostly women related content. So over the period of time, I've tried to diversify, to be more inclusive of my content, to ensure that it reaches out to more people. So it has become a little more general in nature. So yeah, so that's how I think I've tried to change things over a period of time.
Okay. And as we all know, educating and entertaining people at the same time, it's not easy. So, आपको क्या challenges लगते हैं the kind of content you make while you create those videos?
जैसे as a lawyer and in law, we're not used to being concise. हमें बहुत बोलने का शौक है और हम बहुत बोलते हैं, हम एक चीज को लंबा लंबा खींच के बोलते हैं, वो that is how we are as a professional. So when you have to condense इतना सारा information into 30 seconds या 15 seconds या 1 minute, it gets really difficult, and that itself is a challenge, to condense things, ensure that nothing is left out, but still you are concising it to a point that is put in the format that people can understand. और फिर उसमें हमारी सब्जेक्ट बहुत ड्राई है, it is a dry subject. It's not meant to be entertaining. So उसमें भी तड़का डालना, entertaining करना, music डालना, it is a challenge. But yes, I try to use the trending music that's on. I try to use like I said, something that's going on at the moment, some news that's out there. I try to use that in my content to make it more entertaining or to attract audience. So I try to relate something law to some issue that's going on currently. So that's how I try to make it a little more entertaining.
Okay. So with so many content creators coming up and some already existing ones, आपको क्या लगता है creators को क्या करना चाहिए अपना content relevant रखने के लिए?
That itself is a challenge with so many people coming on board, and also you have younger minds coming on board with fresher ideas, right? So it definitely is a challenge. But I think to stay relevant, all you can do is keep up with the times. I feel that if you spend 20 minutes going through videos on Instagram itself, you know what is working. You know how the trends are changing. So you just need to be open-minded about it. And if you're looking at something, you see that, yes, that is working. The stalking style has changed, or the video style has changed, or the music style has changed. Something else is trending now. Try to incorporate it in your content, and don't be very rigid about how you want your content to go out. I think that's the only way that you can also stay relevant with the times. See, your main objective cannot change. Like, it can't be like today I'm imparting legal content, but tomorrow something else is trending, so I'll switch over, because I might lose the audience that I have. So firstly, you need to keep in mind that you need to keep the audience that you have in place. And then if also inculcate something that's going on newly or trending right now. So keep up with the times, and that's the only way you can stay relevant.
And what do you think, what sets you apart from other creators in your category?
The fact that I have experience. I am not talking out of reading a book. I'm talking out of real life experience that I have gained over many years. And also the fact that I am adding value to you and not just reading out of something and making a fun video for you. And I think what else is the fact that I've been here for a while. I would say I've kind of pioneered legal content on Instagram. So that does give me a kind of, sets me apart. And amongst the legal content creators that are there right now, I feel that I've kind of been able to, what do I say? Like, legal content creators are very just into law. I've been able to diversify slightly a little bit, and not just made my page all about the law, but also, slightly, I mean, just a little bit slightly lifestyle too. That I think that's what sets me apart. Yeah.
Right. So जिस तरह का content आप बनाती हैं, obviously आपको backlash भी मिलता होगा. So how do you deal with trolls?
I think initially I used to get really, felt the need to respond to everybody, felt the need to say something to everyone and give my peace of mind to everything. But over a period of time, I've learned to cut off. मतलब जो मुझे genuine लगता है कि कुछ genuine पूछ रहा है, genuine बोल रहा है, I respond to them genuinely. I ensure that, I am replying back in a kind manner and making sense. But जो troll है, जिसको बस कुछ बोलना ही है, I'm not achieving anything out of retaining that person as my follower, or why would I waste my mind and my energy on that person? So yes, I don't, I just let go. Okay. If something is really bothering me, I just let go. Something still affect me, especially if somebody just randomly calls out कि content अच्छा नहीं है, ठीक है, I can digest that. But if somebody tells me that, ये क्या बकवास lawyer है, या you know how people talk, right? So that does get to me. I'm like, I don't like this. But yeah, I just, what can you do? You have to live with that. This is a profession you've chosen to be in. You've put yourself out there. So you just need to get a hard hard hide and move on. So that's it.
Right. So वो ऐसी क्या चीज़ है जो आपको आपके कंटेंट को हेल्प करती है टू ग्रो ऑन इंस्टाग्राम स्पेसिफिकली?
I wish there was like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that you could just follow, and so everybody would have been content creators, everybody would hit 1 million. I think it's just try and test different things. I know that consistency really helps, which I myself have not been consistent due to a lot of things, personal things in my life. But yes, I would, for other creators, I would definitely say be consistent. I think the algorithm really picks on consistency, and at some point of time, you have that opportunity to really, have all your videos out there and grow viral. Second thing would be, of course, to add value to your to the people that you're making videos for. And 3, yes, like I said, use something that is relevant, use something that's going viral, use something that people are talking about right now, and make use of that moment, market, make your videos according to that. So that would definitely help. So I would say,
okay,
try out everything and see what works for you.
Lastly, I would like to ask you, so recently government made it mandatory for social media influencers to disclose their material interest in endorsing products and services, and violations can attract strict legal action, like including a ban on endorsements and etc. So moving forward, do you think it will become more challenging for creators to do brand deals and make content accordingly?
See, I don't see what the challenge is, because I think people are educated enough to understand what is a brand deal and what is not. Like most people are quite aware right now, especially with people like, especially with creators like me who are in the educational, content creation field. We can't really endorse something without people noticing that it is an ad or a brand. It does become quite obvious. So what is the harm in, acknowledging the fact that it is an ad? Now, like if you come to content creators who are doing fashion, maybe, because every day you're taking some clothes from some brand and wearing it may confuse the creators, confuse the followers as to whether this is a purchased or a barter or a paid collab, so that is where a little bit of confusion comes in. But I don't see anything wrong in people, in influencers admitting that it is, it's something that's gifted or something that's bartered or something that's been paid for. I think it only makes your page or makes your content more transparent to the audience. I don't see why one would refuse to do that. Of course, it's also important that the platform itself also pushes content which is, which has a hashtag of ad or which has a paid partnership label, because I've seen also, and I've heard a lot of issues where in case it is a paid partnership, that piece of content is not pushed in the algorithm.
Right.
It's probably shown quite at the end in the algorithm. So maybe that could be something that stops people from putting the label out there. But otherwise, I don't see any issues in, being transparent with your audience.
All right. Thank you so much for sharing your valuable insights with us. And it was wonderful talking to you.
Thank you so much, Sakshi. It was wonderful. Thank you for having me on your platform. Thank you so much.